Watercooler. Watercooler. Watercooler.
Guess they're doing harmony guitars over here. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're Boston. We're Dawson right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome. That's me, right?
Madness.
Can we start the show?
The show started. I have it on tape of you saying that you're living in my world.
I did say that. Welcome to Watercooler, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Loxamana, kick it with my cruel digital bros, like Mike Dawson.
Everybody.
I was thinking the same thing. Matt Fondelier's here.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Matt, and Gary Smith.
What's up?
Oh, what is up? We are, three of the four of us in this room. Kalen, of course, not here. He'll be on for the Patreon.
Oh, wait,
episode.
no
flicking the bean.
Okay, good. I was going to ask.
Yeah. Three of the four of us, Matt, Gary, Matt, and I.
There you go.
That's what it was. Gary, Matt, and I went to my bachelor party in Vegas over the weekend. So we'll do a little recap of that because it was eventful, weird.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Everything a bachelor party should be.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. First off, Yardley Smith was just here.
Yeah.
In studio, and that was pretty surreal having Lisa Simpson on the Adam Carolla show. Her voice is basically Lisa Simpson's voice.
Yeah.
It's a regular speaking voice. It was cool.
But then she would actually kick into actual Lisa mode, and
Yeah.
then I honestly felt like I was blacking out. I was just like, this is insane. How does she do that?
Yeah, she scoots herself up to this mic, and the first thing she says is she's complimenting Dawson on his voice. How'd that feel, Dawson, having a character from The Simpsons?
I'll trade you the voice for the money. I'll trade you gig for gig. You can have the. I'll give you my voice. I will take yours.
That'd be hilarious if that voice coming out of Dawson, actually.
I'm just picturing The Little Mermaid when the voice leaves
Yeah.
her. You guys know that film we've all seen 1,000 times, right? Everyone?
Yeah,
Everyone?
I actually do know that.
Gary, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Aye.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 9 once, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't that for girls?
She's
though?
like collecting
No, not necessarily.
trinkets.
Okay.
Sebastian? You think Sebastian's for girls? Come on.
Yeah, Human Ariel. She was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Matt just said a man character's name and
Yeah.
says that's
He's not a man.
for
No,
girls.
he's a crab.
he's a
okay?
lobster.
He's
He's
a
a
crab.
crab, yeah.
He sings,
Crab.
Okay.
He sings
okay.
about being
Yeah.
under the sea. It's
Okay.
delightful.
Okay.
They should have just named them like what they were. Like you had Flounder, who was a flounder. Yeah,
Right.
that's nice. Ursula, the octopus.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law's name is Ursula.
She an octopus?
No.
All right.
Well, actually, can't confirm. I've always, but
I've only seen two.
yeah, I've only seen
four.
two of the
I've seen
legs.
four.
Four limbs, yeah. But yeah, who knows? She could be hiding the other four behind her or something. Well, Yardley was nice enough to take a picture of a few of us, and she took. So of course we had to get Matt Fondelier, get a picture with Yardley Smith, Lisa Simpson, because Matt. He has the Simpsons room, which still to this day is decorated in Simpsons paraphernalia.
That's right.
She loved it too. She did not find that creepy at all.
That's what was
she
so exciting.
absolutely adored it.
I had a feeling when she was booked, I'm like, she's going to see the room. She's going to have to see
Oh,
the
we
room.
had that
and then
before the
what's
show.
going to happen? Is my ego going to be crushed forever? No, it's
No.
lifted.
No,
Even
it
higher.
lifted. Yeah. No, she gave reason.
Yeah.
She gave
She gave
raisin
me
to the
reason.
season, bro.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Before the show, the only prep was, what do we need prepared for Yardley's interview? And I looked at Ken. All we need is Matt's room. Just get a picture of Matt's room.
I was sitting there for that. I can confirm that is exactly what happened before the show today.
And yeah, and it went up. So we took a picture with Yardley. Great photo. I'll give myself the compliment because I took the photo of Matt and Yardley. But Matt, I sent him. So what I do when I take pictures with Adam or anybody is you have pretty much an infinite amount of photos you could take it on a digital phone, or not an infinite, but you could just keep tapping and then just eventually just pick which one you like.
As Johnny Drama famously said, it's digital. There is no waste.
There's no waste. So I took a few of Matt, and I sent them all to Matt. Because usually what I do, especially if I take pictures with girls and stuff, like give them all the copies. Let them pick. Or if it's in case Matt, give him all the copies. Let him pick. And Matt responds, great, thanks. I like the last two. These are great pictures. I love the last two, which was weird that he told me which ones he wanted because I sent them all to him.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, I wasn't
you
sure
can do whatever you
one of them
want.
was going to get posted or something. I
I
thought like
see.
there was a
Okay.
high likelihood that something like that would just get
That makes
posted.
sense.
That does make sense. Yeah. And now that you're saying that, they will get
We
posted.
should absolutely,
Yeah.
do side by side
Well,
with the room.
I was going to say, didn't they just see the picture? for the people who watch
Hey,
us on
interesting.
YouTube that you brought up?
Yeah.
Because
That's
I feel like
great.
it would
It's
make
minus
sense
2 minutes.
Yeah.
for those people to see that picture.
Shabam nuggets.
I'll give it to you. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But a
don't have
weird
anything
thing
to do
happened.
tonight.
Here's the reason why I didn't like the first two, because something was going through my head as the pictures were being taken, which is what the hell do I do with my hand? One arm was obviously like
you
around
Ricky
her
Bobby?
back.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is your move when
Do you
you
keep it by the side? Do you put it in your hand in your pocket? Like, what do you do?
And if you do your hand in your pocket, is your thumb out?
Right.
Thumb out?
Now
thumb
that's
in?
the thing. I never ever gave this thought ever. I would put my hands in my pocket in a picture or not. Didn't matter. But
Hand on
about-
your hip. The
not
girls
hand on the
all
hip.
know what to
I'm
do.
not
Like
doing a hand on the hip.
girls all
Top
do the hand
knee.
on the hip. I think it's like a slimming thing. I don't know what it is, but it's always symmetrical. If you take a picture
1
of
foot
8,
forward is the slimming thing.
Oh, 1
Hand on
foot
the hip
forward.
goes with it.
yeah,
Sure.
hand
But
on the hip.
it's the 1 foot forward. It's the sideways glance that does the slimming.
Absolutely.
No one interrupt.
I know these things.
You
I've
obviously
seen,
do.
I've seen a
You're-
lot of
you're-
pictures with the girls. I've
you're
seen
totally
a lot
correct.
of
Dawson
different girls
just
take a
dropping
lot
null.
of different pictures. Yes.
He just came to life, and that was fucking amazing.
And he was completely right.
I know.
And
That's why I'm so
yes,
impressed.
I didn't know we had a real expert here on the subject. But yes, you take a picture of 8 girls, 10 girls. It's symmetrical down the line. 5 on the right, have their the right arm on their hip, the other one on the left. So it's a symmetrical look, and they all just know how to do it. Guys, we don't know. I don't know what to do with my arms. You put them behind your back, your front, put them on your head. I don't know.
Yeah.
My move lately is just hand in the pocket, thumb out.
That's a pretty strong move.
Yeah.
There was
The car, it's handled real well.
yeah,
All right,
that's
so. Let me just go back then. I never thought about what to do with the hands ever, but I went to a wedding probably 5 years ago. I was one of my like a groomsman in this wedding party, and the photographer was like, "Hey, put your hand in your pocket and make sure your thumb is out." And I never heard that before. You know, can you picture
Then
that?
you
Dawson?
can't then because you need the opposable thumb to be accused of playing pocket pool.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
why. I
Maybe
don't
that's
know
it.
why.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I was like, this is a professional photographer. He is saying that what he recommends to look sharp in a picture, you should put your hand in your pocket, but you keep the thumb out. So that has become my go-to move.
Yeah.
And
But
But here's
but
here's
it
my
happened
question.
very quickly with Yardley Smith, and suddenly you're like, all right, here we go, 3, 2, 1, click, click, click.
Yeah,
and
it
so
wasn't that quick,
The
but-
pictures are of my hand going from my hip or from my waist
Outside
down
pocket.
into my pocket.
yeah, outside pocket to lift to then insert in the pocket. And I got the whole
And then
sequence.
finally, like the last picture is actually
landed it. You
it.
landed
I'm like,
it.
all right, that's the
Also
picture.
curious, you said you didn't like the first 2.
Yeah, because my
you
hand
did
was
like the
in
last
motion.
2.
That's right.
How many were in between?
None. It's 4.
I only
So
said 4.
in this infinite source of film, and he just snaps away.
no,
He did 4
I
pictures.
did.
pictures.
I did 6. I didn't like the first 2.
There was even 2 worse ones.
So yeah, but yeah, the guy's hand in the pocket. I think that's the move.
Is that a
thumbs out.
thing? Like-
it is a
I
thing.
like it. I can see it.
To
I
where
can see it right now.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Yes.
I've
By
been
the way,
doing
if you look at any number of pictures of me that are taken and posted, I would almost guarantee you at least 3/4 of them, my hand is going to be posed that way.
Yeah, I've been doing it for years, and with a professional photographer, like I did in front of a photographer, and they went, "Oh, you know that? Like it's a thing." So I think that's the move.
All right.
Maybe cross your arms. Is that one like crossing your arms?
Well, that's just what I do anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, that's listeners
How
chime
you
in.
cross
What do we
your
do with our
arms
hands?
a hand in your pocket.
Buddy,
Yeah.
you ever seen an octopus?
All right. Well, you guys want to do a little bachelor party recap? Dawson was the only one not there.
Yes, I want to
here,
hear
so-
all about this.
just
I've
wanna go
heard
back.
I've heard bits and pieces.
Yeah. Let's
Sorry
not
I couldn't
repeat-
get there.
Let's not repeat anything I
Yeah.
may have told you off the air.
Dawson
But,
and Cam were definitely invited, couldn't make it. So I guess let's start off with us planning this trip because they talked about it on the Kroll show, and I was yelling at my speakers, listening to Adam talk and Gina and Brian going, "Why do they plan it on a regular weekend? What's going on?"
See, I took it one step further. I just yelled at Gina directly. She walked in and she was like, "What? What's going on?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I was not pleased."
So I'll clear it up because for the Corolla show listeners, they think that we're just thinking we're gonna miss work and we're just gonna go. Sorry, tough
Peace.
luck, everybody.
See you later.
When originally that was the weekend Adam was going to Austin.
Correct.
And Dawson was going with him, and they're going to do the comedy and late podcast out of Austin. So Gary, Matt, and I had the day free already. So we
Right.
booked our flights, we booked everything, we booked our trips, we booked the plans for the trip, we booked everything
Lots and lots of money.
before that Austin trip got canceled. So then the Austin trip gets canceled not very long ago, and
Yeah, like 2 weeks out.
yeah,
Right.
and we still just kept our flights and kept the plans because everybody also within the group had plans on getting together and doing stuff. So
There's nothing you can do. You can't change a premise like that at the last minute. There's too many people involved. There's too many moving parts.
yeah, so that's why. So we didn't. So regardless of what they said in the Kroll show, that was straight up
Sometimes,
misinformation. They should take that show off of YouTube.
I wish I was a quicker thinker and could process things easier. And of course, we did the show at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which is not, not,
haven't had
not
your
a very
daily
smart
beers
time.
yet.
Right. But had I put 2 and 2 together, I certainly would have said something. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, guys, here's what happened.
Yeah,
And I'm kicking myself for not being fucking quicker.
it's
good.
all right.
It's
It's
all
all
good.
right. I've cooled off.
It was mostly Dawson. It was like little comments like Gina at one point, and I'll say this because I yelled at her about it, and we squashed it very quickly. But she said, when I had my bachelorette party, I picked a weekend and we didn't have work. So did we.
Yeah.
So did we.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I
Right.
can't help that the HVAC system at fucking Cap City in Austin is broken. There's
Yeah.
supply chain issues.
And
Right.
there is something to be said. We are all men here. We can take time off work regardless. If it was we planned it on 3-day weekend or not, we should be able to take time off so I don't feel bad either fucking way. All right? Like Adam always talks about, I wouldn't have done it when I was 19 or when I was 20. It's like, yeah, because those jobs when you're 19 or 20 are kind of shit jobs, man. You got to do it. Like, but we're a little older.
A lot older. Twice
We've
as
been
old.
here for a long time. Not like we've been on this earth for a long time, let alone being on this job for a long time too. So yeah, sorry we had to take days off. Everybody gets part-time off. Everybody takes days off. I know our job's weird and it's a grind. We do it every day, but there has to be a system where we can take days off and not feel bad about it.
I'm
Yeah.
taking a week off to go on a cruise.
Yeah, I
But
heard
the
about
difference
that.
is I'm working the cruise.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying,
And
but
so
Dawson-
Adam's like, no fucking problem. Go to work.
Yeah, see, Adam does have a thing where if you take time off and you're working, does not give an F.
Hey, I was working, baby. I was working those tables, man. You kidding me? I was sweating.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, yeah, it's a weird part of working for him, but getting time off and it's nuanced
Yeah.
to say the least.
And the other thing, too, is it's like, look, dude, it's once. I'm getting married. This is my bachelor party.
Yeah, this is my first bachelor
Back
party.
off just a little bit.
Yeah,
but
on
he
my first
won't.
wedding.
He won't because that's his shtick.
He
I think
can't.
deep down in his heart, he's like, yeah, no, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make content out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
He
all
did.
targets. And that's
Exactly.
what it is.
So what happened to me was I actually went out Thursday night because we were going to be off Friday. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go out
Right.
Thursday night after work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I booked my flight, and I was going to make it. It looked pretty good. But but I had to leave after the Gene Simmons interview. Gene Simmons, 10, 15 minutes late. So I'm already running. Now I'm getting kind of up against it. He walks in with a sandwich. And we're
Oh,
like,
we have to
Gene,
wait for you to eat.
let's go. Let's get you. And he looks at me and he goes, man, finish
I'm
my
gonna
sandwich
eat."
first.
Yeah.
And you're not going to say no to Gene Simmons, who's just like, hey, do you mind if I eat real quick? Because
Yeah.
I feel bad. Like, no. Yeah, of course you can finish your sandwich.
Right.
But now I have.
Cookie? Didn't you have a cookie?
Yeah, and after the sandwich, he asked for something sweet.
I love that
amazing.
shit.
Kind of
When I
When
heard
he came
about
on the
that,
air,
I
he
was
was
like,
like, "Your
fucking
cookies are
G,
real."
dude, that guy is my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Fucking gotta have that touch
awesome.
of sugar.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
It was
right.
amazing.
Gene Simmons is gonna. He's like Matt. He loves what do they call you? The seeker of pleasure. Gene
Yes.
Simmons is like that too. It seems like he just.
I've seen his house. It's pretty pleasurable.
So now we're running really far behind to where I have the displeasure of letting Adam know, hey, if this interview goes long, like I needed it to be done before 4:30 p.m. and it is about 3:15 now. And if this interview goes long, which it sometimes can,
Especially with someone like Gene Simmons.
I'm going to have to leave. Yeah, so I told Adam, if this goes to 4:30, my Uber is picking me up at 4:30, so you're going to see me walk out of here and going to my bachelor party. And what Adam responded was, don't worry about it. 4:30 is cutting it close. Tell your Uber to come at 4:20.
Now that is so outside
Nice.
of Adam Carolla's norm when
Yeah.
it comes to cutting things close with the airport. Like I have seen him yell at Dr. Drew and try to delay him, like try to lengthen shows that Drew is co-hosting because he believes Drew's being too much of a pussy when building in the amount of time for the airport. So he'll purposely try to like screw with him.
So he was very, very understanding and helpful, and I did. I moved it to 420 and still cutting it very close. Skipped out, but he ended it right, like at 420 too. So I actually beat Gene Simmons out of the building. When I got the Uber. I told the story on the Kroll Show, but this is airing around the same time, maybe even a little bit before. I get to Southwest, and they let you check in 2 bags for free. Yeah. Southwest. So I check in 1 bag because it's heavy. It's full of booze because I brought a bunch of bottles over and supplies, and I thought, okay, I'll check this bag in, and then the guy's like, hey, you get 2 bags free if because it's a full flight. So I don't want to take if I don't have to take my carry-on bag. And I want the leg. I have a backpack too, but if I don't want to take my carry-on bag and find a place above, I'm going to be waiting for this bag anyway. Might as well just check it in too.
Sure.
So I check that in too, and I go. I make the flight. It is late check-in, but they said it'd probably be fine. So
Burbank Small Airport.
Yeah, Burbank Small Airport. Vegas, really quick flight. They do it like 10 times a day. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, you're good. So I go, get on the flight, get to Vegas. It's great. Get my bag, head back up to the hotel, and now I open the bag to get some cash out because I kept my wallet in my carry-on bag. And I open the bag up. I keep my wallet in an internal zippered pocket in the bag, so it's kind of away from everything. It's still hidden. It's kind of harder to get to. I open the zipper pocket, grab my wallet, and my wallet, which was full of money for the entire trip, is now completely cleaned out. I'm just holding a flap of leather, basically. It's just an empty
so fucked out
wallet.
Credit cards, ID?
No, I have the credit card. I keep the cards and ID in my phone.
Sure, okay.
But all the cash that I had for the trip was for gambling,
How much
food.
cash? How much?
I'm just gonna say it's 4 digits. It could go any way that way, but it was brutal enough to. It was kind of shocking at first. Like, did I forget to pack? Like, no, I just packed today. Like, I definitely saw this. Like, how could you're kind of confused, almost the same way as like I hear when people get their car stolen. They're just more confused at the top. Like, wait, what happened? Where'd it go? Did I leave it here? Like, and then you finally put it together. Oh my God, it was stolen. That's kind of how it went for me. So I don't know what's going on. I'm in shock. Like, I feel sad, just an immense sad. It's like, really, like, of all the things, like my bachelor party, it's a trip, that I get to do once, and all the money that I prepared and I saved and blah 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 is gone for this trip, and it was a kick in the balls.
Yeah,
Not a good way to start the trip.
Big time.
Yeah. So
now, Dawson, how do you like this move? This guy didn't want to bum anyone out. I showed up first thing next morning. I didn't find out about it for like 2 more days.
Yeah, no, I like that.
That's a great move. I mean, that's like
it
a
would have
real
bummed I don't want,
move. But like,
I don't want to tell everybody, keep telling everybody the story or anything.
That
like
was
that.
very, very selfless, though. I think it probably would have still been okay.
Yeah, it would have.
It was selfless.
I didn't want that kind of attention for the trip.
Yeah,
what
frankly,
I mean?
my trip would have been ruined. So I'm really glad that you
you're
didn't
welcome.
bring that up.
Yeah,
I would have. Yeah, I just would have turned around.
I know. That's why. The reason I told everybody, I was like, because 2 of the guys who were with me knew because they saw like my initial reaction, but I told them Final Leader's not going to come.
Now nobody hit it.
So please
big.
don't tell anybody.
Nobody hit it big on the roulette table, and then you could say, "By the way."
Yeah.
I always said, like, with all the stuff that's been stolen from me recently, this is just me. When I stole music in high school, this is just me paying for it. Like,
I think you should.
Oh man, you got to go the opposite way. You got to be stacking karma. You can't be reaping.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I was gonna say you should give yourself more credit. You very well could have been like a pirate or something totally dope in a past life.
Oh, that could have. I didn't even think about past lives. Yeah, so I'm paying for that.
That's more
then.
logical.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the
All
logical.
I like that.
All the pillaging.
Yeah, son, that's it though. Just pillaging.
Yeah, just
Not
pillaging.
the other thing.
No. I thought it through.
Respect. You were the only
Just-
pirate who respected all women.
I thought it through.
Yeah, I only pillage.
Yeah, pillaging only.
And so
You mean that word that begins with an R?
no, just pillaging.
So you made it a pirate joke though.
Pee. No, I never said that either. I just pillage. I pillage and pee. So of course I get on the phone with Southwest. I get the runaround. They're just like, oh, we don't, for the first thing that they told me is like, just a heads up, we are not eligible for that. Or or liable. Sorry, we are not liable for that. And but what you can do is go to the southwest.com, click the contact page, and fill out the form there, and we'll take it from there. And I was just like, I'm talking to you on the phone right now. What are you doing? And then they said, well, and then I asked, what about the footage of people going through the bags? Like, it was only in the airport for 20 minutes. Can I see the footage? Like, oh, you got to contact the police. I called the police. They're giving me the runaround, telling me to contact TSA Gov and tell the TSA. And they're like, oh, to contact TSA, just go to their website and click contact, and that's how you find them. I'm like, you're the police. File a report. Like, I'm supposed to file a police report here. I got a lot of money stolen. Have you heard of this ever happening before? Like, how often does this happen? Is this new? And he's just like, you shouldn't have put it in your check-in bag. I'm like, I freaking know that.
Yeah, well.
Okay, but here's the thing. You are government employees. Like, if we can't trust you guys, who the fuck can we trust? Like, it's just, it was out of my hands for 20 minutes. Like, what's the big deal? But it is a big deal. I guess we really can't trust anybody, and it just makes me immensely sad.
No, it's sad.
For no,
I'm sorry
just
that happened to
that inhumanity. Like, I can't. Mikey told me this story because it reminded him of something I did a few years ago, where we were at a bar many years ago. I shouldn't say a few. It was probably like 8 years ago, and we were at a bar, and all of our friends were going to this girl's house afterwards, and Mikey had a skateboard with him, and I rode the skateboard from the bar over, and there was other people walked, and anyway, we go into the girl's house, and she has a bunch of people over, and I leave the skateboard. We go up the porch and I leave the skateboard just on, like next to the door, like the wheels up against the wall, just leaned up against the wall. We go into the house, and we're in there for about 15, 20 minutes, and Mike's like, hey, where's my skateboard? I'm like, oh, it's just right outside. I just left it. I don't want to bring it in. And everybody in the house like, oh, it's gone. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Dude, it's gone. People walk by, like, that skateboard's gone. I'm like, no, it's not. And I open up the door, skateboard's gone. And Mike's like, yeah, he's just, I'm too trusting of humanity, I guess, or society. And it's like, it's sad. Like, the other day, I was putting the car registration sticker on my license plate, and I was scouring it with a blade.
Scoring.
Scouring, yeah. Scoring it with a blade because you don't want because people just take them off.
Yeah,
And
that happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to live like that?
I don't know, but we do, and it sucks.
It
And I'm
sucks.
really, really sorry that happened to you, but I want to commend you for just kind of keeping it to yourself until we got back. And
Yeah, I just wanted the good vibes.
yeah,
whatever,
dude, and
and
there was plenty of
Yeah.
them.
Okay,
Can
let's
we
move
talk
on.
about some of the fun shit now?
yes. All right.
Okay.
Because that wasn't as fun.
I'm sure it wasn't, but
And it was kind of hard, but you guys were really great keeping it off my mind too. And just like, let's just move on. So after the first night of no sleep, I made peace with it, and it's just like, let's just move on. I got all my friends here. I got the people I love here. Let's go. So
And let me just say, you slept a lot because I have a lot of pictures of you sleeping.
yeah. So okay. So there's something to
Eventually.
be said about that. So so we move. So everybody comes. There's 19 dudes. We're
there's
rolling deep.
There's a
It's
lot of dong.
dong.
A little too much dog.
Yeah, we're staying on Fremont Street.
A little too much dog.
Go.
And and the main thing was we got the real world suite at the top of the Gold Spike casino, which they only let us house 9 people. Could have housed a lot more than that.
Oh, I was surprised. It's like 9 queen size beds.
It was 7.
7?
Yeah, but it was
crazy.
huge. Like this, and it became basically the hub of where everybody met up, hung out, whatever. Like it was a cool suite where you get in the elevator, and right when the elevator doors open, you're in. Like there's no other corridor or hall or anything like that. And
However, their elevator system could use an upgrade because any time someone who was staying in another room wanted to go into the suite, that meant they had to go all the way down in these elevators from the 70s. So that was like a 4-minute ride. And then you had to go all the way back
Yeah.
up with a guest who was staying in the room who had to come down from the suite because you have to have a special key card that they would only give us 4 us.
Four of, yeah.
4 of, sorry.
yeah, so there were hassles definitely. I went shopping and I stocked up the room with as much junk food as possible.
I believe I described it as like what an 11-year-old would do if they were given a couple $100 and asked to buy snacks. It
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Like instant mac and cheese, Oreos, cup of noodles, ramen,
Chips.
Lots of chips.
lots of chips, and the queso and the salsa,
Donuts.
donuts
for the morning.
Ritz crackers, PB&J sandwiches, bread, salami, cheese, everything. Like,
It was fantastic.
just because you don't know, and there's a full kitchen there, so might as well. There weren't any plates or pans or anything like that.
That was a surprise.
Who needs plates?
Who needs them? So I had to get those anyway.
Somebody did make grilled cheese on a cookie sheet.
Yeah, so it was really cool having all my friends there because it's like weird watching Matt and Gary take shots with friends I went to middle school with or something like that. So it was cool, everybody bonding. There's something really special about that.
Yeah.
Where you're seeing your worlds colliding.
Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, you've mentioned many times your fake friends, Jake and Jason.
Yeah.
I've met Jake.
You met Jason.
I met Jason.
I met
Yeah.
Jason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jason, just so you know, Dawson.
Jake's not his friend
He's
anymore.
a real person, but Jake, there's still some questions.
Jake lives in Texas, and basically anybody with Texas, we just shun anyway. Like they're out of my fucking life. So anyway, you met Jason. It was cool. Like I was explaining, right? Oh, guys, to Matt and Gary, this is Jepsen. This is the guy I got on the New Year's Eve brawl. Like he was the other guy fighting.
That was
or
an interesting one.
Yeah, or Jamie. He's the guy whose chickens got their heads ripped off by raccoons, and that's how I knew that. Or like, it's like all my old stories that I told. Like these were the guys that were in it. So it was cool. It was cool getting to explain that, and you guys getting to put faces to the names and everything like that.
Sure.
And some of those guys listen to the Watercooler, so it's just like, oh, there's Matt and Gary, or
Yeah, I was telling a story about my wife, but except I said my wife, and he went, "Who?"
See,
My wife.
That's fantastic. And Chris, I just got to say, you have quite a crew of dudes there, and Matt and I were sort of the outsiders, and everyone was really cool and welcoming. Like, everyone was so chill. Like, there was not one guy who, like, I was looking at sideways. Like, everyone was so cool and fun and just really inclusive. Like, people kept coming up to us and, like, engaging us to, like, make sure we felt included. It was really nice.
And I should mention the in-room entertainment that we have.
Should you?
I think we should.
Yeah, we should.
So
Let's do it.
Now it's just creepy if we don't.
yeah. So we did this. We did a party, a lunch party at the room.
It was a questionable move because it was scheduled for 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it was open bar, but it was very specific that ended at 1. And that sort of sets a tone when you have 19 guys and it's like, all right, guys, free alcohol until 1.
Yeah, you just gotta.
We made it count,
Take
and then you got to
advantage.
make that feeling last.
Yeah, did anyone eat?
No,
Yes.
there were dogs.
We did. There was dogs and burgers. But still, Doss, just think about that. It's like 19 guys all together, and it's like 11 a.m. I got to start drinking hard alcohol
you got 2
right
hours
now.
of drinking. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You punch the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there
you
was
go
like a
for it.
billiards table, so there was like a pool tournament kind of set up that everyone was doing. There was some dice games going on.
Yeah, we had a good time.
But then the entertainment showed up.
Then my brother goes down the elevator, comes back up with this lovely lady named like Sydney Stardust, and I mean she's very pretty. She's wearing like some heels, like those platform heels or whatever.
It's like a little rock and
Tight
roll
leather outfit. And she just walks in and she's very confident, like, oh hey, what's going on here? And the announcement, all right, everybody,
Turn the music
We're
on.
gonna have a show.
we have a special performance. Let's all gather around.
Special performance.
And all the guys get their chairs and they surround this girl. And we're
Chris is
just
instructing people to get drinks. Like, get a drink. You're gonna want to see. You're
You're
can't
going to
miss
see this. Yeah, because I knew what it was because my brother told me last night he couldn't.
Oh, you knew what was coming.
I knew what was coming
Oh,
because he told me
wow.
he let the cat out of the bag there.
Well, let me tell you, as someone who did not know what was coming,
I
this is
definitely.
a very intriguing moment because not only are there 12 dudes here, but now the father of the bride
Now
has
that's-
also arrived.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
And
what I was
he's
gonna
hanging
bring
out
up.
with us
Yeah.
too, and this very attractive girl is about to do a performance for everyone, and I just had no idea what the hell was about to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, the father of the bride is about the nicest person I've ever met. I absolutely adore that man. And that was exactly what I thought, Matt. I saw those elevator doors open. I looked at this girl. I looked at how she was dressed. And I looked over and I was like, there's a 65-year-old man standing right there. I do not like this. That's Jenny's dad.
Yeah. That's right. He came by for lunch and ended up hanging with us for the day because he's awesome. So
He was just checking on you.
Maybe
He was just making
He was
sure.
partying, Dawson. He was really cool.
He's down to party.
He's a nice dude.
And so we all gather around. Everyone's kind of has a question mark over their head, like what's going on here, and what is her performance? Magic. She was a magician, and she did card tricks. She did the foam ball trick. She did
all kinds of stuff, and she was really good.
And let's be clear, for the first 7 minutes of this performance, even knowing that she was a magician,
You were still
I'm
expecting
still
her to
wondering,
take her clothes
are
off.
her clothes
Yeah.
going to disappear? Like,
7
what is
minutes?
going to happen?
Come on, that was what I thought the whole time. I was convinced that the closer was going to be making her clothes disappear or something. Like I was positive
oh my
of it.
God.
Well,
But no,
it's
it was
a bachelor party.
It was just like legitimately awesome sleight
It
of
was
hand magic.
very good magic, and then she hung out for the rest of the time that the open bar was going, and like chilled with us.
Yeah, we said, help yourself to some drinks. She actually, she obviously realized how non-threatening our group was,
Yeah.
and yeah, just hung out for a while. And
Well, again, to use the analogy that Gary did about this is what would happen if an 11-year-old had a bunch of money, this girl just performed a bunch of magic to dudes who straight up lost their shit. Oh, people running, doing laps around the couch. Like it was.
Mikey was running onto the balcony. It was absolute pandemonium.
every like punchline of the trick, everyone just went nuts. Imagine
So
a whole room
funny.
just getting insane
It was great. It was
after
great.
each trick. So yeah, it was super funny. And then, we just ended up doing our own thing sometimes. But everyone just getting drunk anyway. Now I have I think it's a condition. I don't know what it is. That before I can reach the point of just getting blitzed, I fall asleep. It's like my body knows, hey, this is too much, man. You're going to be upset tomorrow, so we're gonna just press this shutdown button here, and we're gonna let you go. And that's what happened. That's what happens every time. I don't know if it's like an Asian thing. I don't know what it is, but it's just I just fall asleep no matter what. There's tons of pictures of me passed out. Matt finally got some. I would say in my career of living as a human being, there are more pictures of me asleep than not. Just
But
because
let's be clear, you didn't sleep away the bachelor party. There were still plenty of hours of
Yeah.
just I was watching. It seemed to me like you were having an incredible time, which is really all that actually
I was,
matters.
and as I said, like it's so cool seeing your worlds collide in that way.
Chris, can I tell a quick story about Vegas that
Sure.
you weren't there for? So Matt got in a little later than I did. I got there very early on Friday morning. I took the first flight out because it was extremely cheap, and I got there, and you and your buddies had gone out the night before and were a little worse for wear. So I just kind of said, I'm gonna go walk Fremont Street, 10 in the morning. And I did that for a few minutes. And then when Matt got in later in the day, he looked at me about 4 p.m. and he's like, you want to have a whiskey? And I looked back at him and I was like, no, Matt, if we are going to become horrible alcoholics, we at least must walk to Fremont Street and buy a drink and walk up and down it because you haven't been there yet and you need to see what we're in for on this trip. And he went, that sounds fucking great. Let's do it.
Right, because you've never done the Fremont.
Neither had I.
Have you, Doss?
No.
It's you
It's
should.
a sight.
It's something.
Truly
It's different than Vegas, but whatever. So we go change, we get to our stuff, and we head off to Fremont Street. And as we're kind of going on Fremont Street, Matt goes, hey, earlier today while I was driving up, Stromer called me, and I was chatting with him, and I told him that I was coming. And he said there's this band called, and I'm making this up, called like the Perfect Thread Theory, and that his friend is the guitarist in it. So if you see them performing on Fremont Street, you got to go up and go, hey, fuck you, from Eric Stromer. And I was like, oh, okay, that's funny. So Matt and I walk up and down Fremont Street. We get our drink. And as we're walking back to go to the hotel, like right at the very end of Fremont Street, there was a female performer performing music who's clearly not this person. But I said to Matt jokingly, hey, why don't you go over to that chick and say, fuck you, from Eric Stromer. And at that moment, a large dude who was walking next to us started looking at me. And he was not breaking his stare. And I could see him out of my peripheral vision, but I did not want to look at him because I didn't know if he thought maybe I had just said something derogatory about his wife or whatever. All I knew was there was a big dude, and he was pretty close to me, and he was staring at me. And finally, after an uncomfortable, felt like 5 seconds, but I'm sure it was more like 2.
Finally, you looked at him and said, fuck you looking at.
Yeah.
No, finally, he looked at me and went, woof, woof.
Oh, nice.
And I went, yeah. I assume that me saying Stromer is what kind of made him turn and start like figuring out what was going on. But it was Rich McKinney, and who's a big fan, who posted in the Facebook group and stuff. He asked us for a picture, and yeah, sorry, Chris. He asked us for a picture. It's right there. And we took it. We talked to him for a little bit. It was his birthday. He said he was going to that heart attack grill to hopefully not die. And then he did not die because I actually saw him in the airport as I was departing.
Oh.
Rich, I'm sorry if I was fucking hammered because my flight was very delayed. So my memory of him, I just recognized the hat he was wearing. I saw him from miles. I was like, Rich? And he kind of turned around. I was like, we got a good birthday. Okay, good to see you. Woof, woof. I fucking stumbled off to my plane. But it was a crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
It was super fun. Yeah.
I didn't know it was Rich McKinney who you guys ran into.
Yeah, he posted it on the Facebook group.
He's the barbecue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary told me that story, and I thought it was awesome. What I didn't appreciate was he posted like, "Oh, I heard Chris was a little hungover or something." Not true. I was freaking trying to find my money. Anyway, yeah. So that's awesome. That's really fun. Freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the day everyone left, Sunday, I actually had a night flight, so I ended up booking a room at the Cosmo just for the night because I get free rooms there.
Why?
Because I wore high heels one time to the Cosmo, and the pit boss like put my name on a list.
Why'd you wear high heels to a casino?
I was a dare. I lost a fantasy baseball bet, so I had to wear high heels for 2 hours
and
at the
pit
Cosmo.
boss liked you.
The pit boss thought it was hilarious. Well, the dealer thought I was hilarious. Called everybody over because they were closing, and I had like 6 people around as I told the story, and they were all laughing about it. And the pit boss takes my ID. He's like, "What's your name?" And I went, Chris. I takes my ID. He's like, "I just hooked you up," and just gives me my ID back. I don't know what happened. And for the last 10 years, I've been getting free rooms at the Cosmo. Now they've dwindled. I used to get like VIP suites, and
wow,
yeah,
I'm getting a fucking pair of heels.
Yeah,
Dawson,
dude,
I saw this room that he got. It was fucking sick.
Yeah,
if that's dwindled, then
that's dwindled. But now
okay.
I get this room, Gary, for it's only like from Sunday to Thursday, which I mean, according to Adam Kroll, I can never use. So, but I get basically free rooms there from this. It's like it's always been from that, and it was really the biggest hookup I've ever had, just for being silly. By the way, those high heels, they're pictures of them on the internet.
You've worn them in by now.
Yeah.
You're much better on them than you were that day.
Yeah, they were really difficult to walk in, but so that was just one of the dares we did, and they loved it. So anyway, we go to the Cosmo, have a nice pool day. It's wonderful, and then we kind of just recover. I actually don't drink at all on Sunday because I had a gig on Monday, and I didn't want my voice just to be completely shot. So, and then got back, and all was good.
That made one of us, by the way, that did not drink on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Just one of us, yeah. I drank as well. While we're talking about the Cosmo, you passed over another key part of your bachelor party.
Please, yes.
Which is that there's a very generous Corolla fan who's been to this building many a time and brought us delicious pies. He popped in at one point and explained to Chris that he lives in a multi-million-dollar top-floor apartment at the Cosmopolitan.
A penthouse.
Maybe he didn't say
he didn't say multi-million dollar, but he did say penthouse. And
penthouse.
Matt did the math. Yeah, he did, and he invited.
Very
20
graciously
dudes over to this place.
Yeah, so he came to the barbecue, saw the magician as well, and then because I just want him to, he's like the nicest guy in the world. He lives in Vegas.
Such a sweet dude.
And then he invited all of us to his penthouse, and where he made us drinks, gave us a tour of the place, which had just the craziest Star Wars memorabilia you could think of, like legit. And
rooftop pool,
full-size Darth Vader, Dawson, full-size Han Solo encapsulated in carbonite.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy
I
has.
hear pool.
There's a pool on the roof.
Rooftop pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Infinity pool.
And he was just slinging drinks, like legit, really incredible drinks and beers. It's full fridge stock, and just graciously hosted us for the night, and we were all just in awe of his incredible hospitality. And
he came out to eat with us, right?
Yeah, and then we all went to the Cosmo, to the food court, and we all got some dinner there, and it was...
Which, by the way, brilliant move on your part. I believe that was your idea.
Yeah.
And it's hard to feed 20 dudes.
It's hard to do anything with 20 dudes. It's just so, it worked out, and then we all kind of... It all got fuzzy after that.
Yeah. I believe that was the night that as I came back up to the real world suite to get a liquid IV to put in my water that I was going to go to sleep with. As I was getting that, 9 people rolled in with Fat Tuesday drinks, and I just immediately ducked into the elevator. And
Oh yeah.
got the F out of there.
That says after we start taking our shirts off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stayed for that. Shirtless Fat Tuesday party.
Yeah, Matt
4 in the fucking morning.
Matt took his shirt off too. We're like, all right, we're doing it.
Dawson,
That's hilarious.
I've never been happier to spend money on a hotel room than I was when those elevator doors opened and 8 maniacs came at me holding Fat Tuesdays. Oh,
Take your shirts off.
Yeah.
night.
It was pretty wild. So I had a great time. Thank you to you both for being there as well.
Our pleasure,
having
bro.
us.
And I
Thanks.
have more stories in my brain happen. You know, we'll call them as it is. But
Sure.
you know, it's already 40 minutes in, and we haven't even done comments yet. So why don't we move on from the bachelor party talk, and we'll sprinkle it in. I'm sure in the next few shows anyway. If
Let's do it.
things are mine.
Now it's time for listener
All right, and once again, these are all comments found on our Facebook group. And if you want to join this Facebook group, it's very easy. You just go to facebook.com/groups/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. You just answer a few questions. We might let you in, and I promise, if we do, it's going to be your favorite place on the internet because it is my favorite place on the internet.
If you ever want to know where Matt and I are traveling, it's a good place to find out.
That's true too. All right, so let's kick it off with David Hundley.
AI guy.
AI guy. He created a poll. And I like this one. It's a little throwback. He says, as I continue to make my way through the water cooler backlog for the flickin' AI, there has been a lot of great recurring bits that are now either completed or inactive. Which has been your favorite? And they ranked them, and I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Number 1, everyone's favorite bit, Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah.
Now, I don't
Wasn't
remember calling it that.
No, it was Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Because it was Kalen.
Yeah, okay, the C is Kalen, the capital C.
Yeah.
But everyone loved those stories.
Well, it was like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Is he going to kill him or not?
Yeah, Kalen being confused by his neighbor's generosity and willingness to hang out.
His neighbor was trying to seduce him.
Correct. His neighbor was trying to watch a little Game of Thrones and get it in.
I think they might still be friends on Facebook too. So
I think they are.
yeah, we got to get an update from Kalen. I'm sure there isn't one, but it's always worth asking. Hunger Dome number 2.
Classic.
The Hunger Dome.
That'd be my number 1.
Nick explains The Bachelor to Dawson. Number 3 there. Everyone really liked that bit, Dawson.
It happened once.
Good job.
I walked out for every consecutive one.
Good job, Dawson. Either way, take
Got
the,
third place for not even doing a fucking thing.
See, that's how good you are.
That's good, man.
Dawson. I was always told, for success, make your 7. Everyone. Oh no, yeah, make your 7. Everyone else is 10, or vice versa. So everyone else is 10. Make that your 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then exactly. So like, get to that point. The female perspective. Everyone liked that bit.
Yeah.
Where we talked to because this
Clam
is
chatter, you mean?
a
Tuna
lot.
Town.
I didn't like that because every now and then it would be my mother,
That's
which
right.
I thought was aggressive.
I do like talking to the girls who listen to the show. We should do that again, I think. So,
I'm down. I will
girls,
say-
hit us up in the Facebook group. Let us know that you want to be a participant. We'll get in touch and let's hear from you because there's a lot of dudes on the show.
Next week on Vagina Vocalizations.
Nope. No.
I think we'll workshop it.
No, we don't even have to. We don't even have to. How do they name everybody?
There's
Everyone-
a few names. In fact, you put them in parentheses
I didn't
right there.
write those down.
I'm sure you
The
didn't.
bean scale game. Well,
was the
it's
rapid fire.
the Rotten Tomatoes game, but we would guess what Kalen rated, and the first, I remember the first one was grass.
Yeah.
We had to guess what Kalen would rate grass. And No or No was one of them. Yeah, so we had a lot of good bits on the show. We still do.
Yeah.
So, and cheese ball, not even there. Okay.
The one I worked the hardest on.
I know.
The dice.
Lee Philip Berg says, "What's the etiquette when pulling up to someone with the same car as you? Do you nod? Do you blow a kiss? Nothing? What's up?
Blow a kiss.
Do you blow a kiss?
Yeah, that's
You
what
see
you
somebody else in that Tundra?
No, it's funny, dude. It only matters if you're driving a Jeep or a Cadillac. And in those cases specifically, it only matters if you're But it matters more if white dudes in Jeeps and black men in Cadillacs do the same fucking look. I'm riding down State Street. My buddy's Eldorado, bright yellow Eldorado. And we're going down State Street in Santa Barbara, and coming up is a cherry red Eldorado, both driven by deep black men. And they both go like this. Just a nice,
A head nod.
slow nod.
Yeah.
And I started laughing. I'm like, oh. And then 3 weeks later, I'm with one of my like surfer buddies driving a Jeep. And he drives by another surfer dude in a Jeep. And that's different. That's the fucking peace sign. That's you just throw that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
feel
other
like-
than that, no, those are the only two cars it's acceptable in.
Oh, really? It's because Gary, I'm sure. Do you do anything with Prius? I mean, Prius, Teslas.
No, because there's too many of
Too
them. I
many.
mean, I know there is a thing. There was like a movement I saw online, Dawson, you'll hate this, that because the car I drive is called a Model 3, there was like basically a movement trying to get people to like flash 3 at each other,
Oh, that's weird.
which is dumb as far
Yeah,
as
you
I'm
can't
concerned.
force it. These things happen organically.
Yeah, I've heard in the Jeep community there's also a set of people who will throw you a J.
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently.
that's cool.
Apparently it's big in the Midwest.
Yeah, people. Yeah, I don't know. I do feel a weird kinship with fellow Prius drivers. So if like a Prius cuts me off, I just go, "It's cool. I get it."
I was driving
That's
behind
okay, brother.
I was driving behind a Prius on the freeway to work today, and it had a sticker on the back that said, in quotes, "Nice Prius," and then beneath it said, "No one."
Said nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a sticker we have.
And I looked at it, I pulled up next to it, and I looked at it, and I was like, you know what? Good. Respect.
Funny. What about you, Matt?
I feel like if I honked at every Honda that drove by, I would probably be in several more accidents than I should be.
Yeah.
You
But
don't do the honka?
no, I don't. I'd like to bring back the truck pump, though. We've talked about it. You
Yeah.
know? I don't drive a truck, but if I see one, I want to be able to do that and get a response.
Yeah. You
Last
could-
time I
you
did
could
it, I
still
got a
do-
response.
Yeah?
Yeah, you'd still be able to do it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see here. Oh, Justin Madinger.
Hardly know her.
He created a poll. When making ramen noodles, when do you add the seasoning packet? Is it do you do it after you strain the noodles? Do you do it while the noodles boil? What's the move?
I'll be honest, I am not experienced in the ways of ramen. I feel like I've really only had it a couple times. I'm not trying to knock it at all. I know it's
You've never
got-
made like top ramen, huh?
like
you weren't into
I
that.
could probably count on one hand the amount
Wow.
of times. And early
Wow.
college days.
Yeah.
A lot of
Doss?
Owen Wilson impressions in Vegas, by the way. A lot of wow
and-
everywhere we
and
went.
only the 3 of us were in on it, but it was happening a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah.
So fun.
What, Doss? You make top ramen ever?
I have cup of noodles on standby if needed.
So did we.
And
Yes, we
they've been, up on the top shelf for like 3 years now. They got a shelf life though.
Yeah.
I've had like 2 in the last 3 years, so no, it's not a big thing for me. The last time I actually ate those ramen squares, though, it was college, and we just ate them raw.
Yeah,
You just
that
dump
was
the
the
powder
thing.
on it.
That was the
Yeah.
thing. You eat the ramen noodles raw for like a crunchy snack.
Well, raw is part of the title. So
Yeah,
it makes sense.
ramen. That's right. But anyway, more people add to the noodles after the strain.
Hey, one thing I want to say before I forget about the bachelor party, if I may. After Rich McKinley posted his photo, about 12 minutes later, maybe 15 minutes later, my phone buzzed. And at the time, I didn't understand why it had happened, but it was Kathy Lowry, and it was a Venmo thing, sending me $100 that said hashtag Kathy buys you drinks. So I just wanted to say thank you again very much, Kathy. We spent it at Fat Tuesdays, and it was a very, very bad thing, but we really appreciate it.
Fat
Thank you.
Tuesdays, yeah. Yeah, when we first went to Vegas, like at age, when we were 21, that was a big thing for us, is going to Fat
Dude,
Tuesdays.
it's just to me it is a requirement if you're going to go to Vegas, especially like in the summer or whatever.
Those yard-long Slurpees.
I'm not even saying you have to do the yard line. You can just get just get like a small one. Just get an extra shot in it. You just need to say that you had it.
See, I will very proudly say that I did not have it, and I'm very proud of myself because they attempted to foist this on me at 10:30 in the morning on day one, and I went, I've played this game before. No.
Yeah.
I'll skip this and I'll keep going with you guys later.
Yeah. Here's a thing, Matt. In Dawson, there's a thing. Dads go extra hard now, and a lot of my friends are dads, and there's just something about it. Like when dads get away from their family for a little bit and get to party, they go extra hard.
Now here's what I will say, Chris. You and Mikey did me a huge service because you said that right before I was about to leave. On Thursday night, you said, Mikey is worried about the dads. He thinks the dads are going to go ham and they might fuck the weekend up because they'll be out of commission by like Saturday morning. And with that in my head, I was very cognizant of like, these are long days, marathon, not a sprint. Like, and I think it really saved me.
Oh, good, yeah. And nobody's knocked out.
No.
Anyway, I mean, people went hard, but
People went hard.
Let's see. Lee Philip Berg says, anyone else put a fried egg on everything?
I'm down with it.
Sure.
Yeah, I love fried eggs. Yeah, I like them in burgers.
Oh yeah, that was clutch. Was discovering it on a burger. I don't know what genius put that on a menu.
It just adds richness and
So
moistness, and yeah, it's wonderful. There's
Ew.
oh come on, there was a guy on Reddit a while back who did like a Reddit Q&A or something. He's just like, hey, I'm putting rice on everything, and I'll let you know if it's better with rice or not. And people were just giving him foods, and he would report back if it was better with rice or not. And about 95% of the foods people gave him, it was better with rice.
That's
and
hilarious.
like, think about any food, he just added rice, and it's like, yep, made it better, made it better, made it better.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Claws are master.
Andrew Coleman says the four-in hand is also the knot of choice for tall people whose ties are never long enough. Because the Windsor are so many extra folds, I wind up looking like Tommy Boy.
After I read this comment, I realized I might not be doing a fancy knot for your wedding after all. Maybe that's why I've always done four in hand.
Yeah. Eric Bering says, Chip Chat, I'm definitely simpatico with Matt about the selection process of the
I'm
last
so glad.
third of the chips in the bag. So, Matt, you have another guy. Eric's one of you.
I gotta tell
There
you,
are several monsters amongst
I
us.
told this story to my wife, and we've never been so close to divorce. That was, she just stared at me and was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Just like you guys
Correctly.
did. Just like you fucking judgers.
Yeah.
How has she never noticed this before? That you have to dump the end of every bag of chips out onto a fucking table like you're some kind of a...
Listen, baby, when you're this deep in love, you get distracted by things.
Eric, but also adds that, in fact, when he enjoys a bag of Skittles, he makes sure that all the last 5 are all different flavors, and then he can eat them in order of preference,
That's good.
saving the best for last.
Good.
I'm
See,
gonna
somehow I'm
agree
okay
with that.
with
I like that.
That's
just
fine.
science.
That's science. Yeah, because you want variety at the end. You want to
Yeah.
remember them all. That's fine with me, too.
Again, I
Matt,
do
we hate
think
you.
it would be crazy if I arranged the entire bag of chips. What I'm saying is the first three
Oh,
quarters.
but you want to. You want to.
No, the first 3 quarters, I'm just enjoying chips, baby.
Oh, okay.
It's really just that last.
And then you're
part
not
where I'm like,
enjoying anymore. It's work.
Then-
you're like, I'm down to the last third of this bag, man.
you know what? Do what you love, and you
I
never
gotta
work a
start
day in your life.
sorting
Dawson.
chips.
Well, here's a question, though, Matt. Much like your whole cheesecake as a pie insanity, even though you had pies at your wedding and there was no cheesecake, we were eating chips out of a bag all weekend. I never saw you do this bullshit.
Well, first of all, we're talking about fun-sized bags of chips. I was very clear with that. These were massive family-sized bags of chips. Again, I'm not a monster. I'm not going to insist that everybody back away from the family-sized bag so I could sort it and pick the right chips.
You want it, though.
The right chips.
You did want to, though.
It would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother
The weekend
Marvin,
wasn't about me, okay? It's about
who
Chris.
is my best man. You guys got to meet this weekend. Growing up, he was convinced that their chicken McNuggets, some were good and some were bad. Like there's like a like even in the pack of like a 20-pack, he would take a little bite out of each of them, even if we shared them.
And decide which ones
Yeah,
were
and decide
suitable
which ones
for his
were
palate.
Yeah,
See, that's crazy.
yeah. I don't know. You're crazy too, Matt. That's what I'm saying.
If
I
you
put
do it
in
when
that
you're
category.
sharing them, that's rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would always eat chicken nuggets with bites in them. That's how we grew up.
Good times.
Steve Vanio, he created a poll and he says, was Will Smith bitch slapping Chris Rock planned beforehand? What do you guys think?
No.
Wow. I thought we'd be the only show in the entire world that
Nope.
wouldn't address
Dude,
this.
so I found out about this waiting in the airport for my plane to head home, and I just saw it on Twitter. But I didn't have my phone. I mean, my AirPods in because my AirPods were stolen, so I don't have headphones for my phone. But I So I'm just reading like what happened. I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then I click the video and there are captions, and I'm just reading the captions where it's like, "Get my wife's name out of your effing mouth," and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh. So I go dive into my bag and try to find headphones. I love the little lightning connectors. Like, I gotta hear this. This is crazy.
Let me guess, your headphones were stolen.
No, I have some headphones. But they're wired. I'm going old school. And yeah, I'm also one of those people that just like got weirdly obsessed with it. I needed to know more. I needed to know reactions. I needed to know everything.
Here's what I think happened. The slap itself was not very powerful, as evidenced by the fact that it didn't knock Chris Rock over. Will Smith is a big dude. If he really hit him hard, he could have hit him hard. He gave him a Hollywood slap, which is the tips of the fingers. So you can, and I'm sure he touched him, but it's the Hollywood slap that you do that you just miss, and then with the person going like that,
So are you
it
suggesting
looks
it was
on
planned?
film. No, I'm suggesting that Will Smith didn't really hit him hard.
I would.
He
probably
gave
agree
him
with
a
that.
Hollywood slap, but it was a real slap because Chris Rock was visibly shaken.
And
I
Chris-
have been up on a stage where something happens that's completely out of your control and you're like incredibly flustered. What the fuck do I do? And that was Chris Rock.
I agree with Dawson. As someone who's been to award shows before, I have a very hard time believing that Chris Rock did not know exactly where he was and what was going on. And the first thing that he did after getting slapped as a professional entertainer for 40 years was swear when he's on television on a network. He knows he can't do that.
Right.
When he said Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me,
He was flustered.
he was just saying what had happened.
And
He-
then-
he didn't know what was going on.
And then after Will Smith was yelling at him, he was so uncomfortable in the moment that he said, "I will." It was
Yeah. It was
I
a
will,
G.I.
bro.
Jane joke.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I really do wish if Chris Rock, if it had been a different circumstance or if it hadn't been real, Chris Rock would have unloaded on him. He would have just started doing
Right,
material
yeah.
about him.
It
But
actually kind of even seemed like he was biting his tongue. Like
I don't think he really knew what was going on.
It was confusing, and like
Yeah.
and he was flustered. He was saying the wrong thing in the prompter. He kept messing up as he
Yeah.
was trying to introduce the next segment or segi. So yeah, there was it definitely not planned. A lot of people thought it was though in the Facebook group. I was really surprised by how many
Yeah.
people thought it was.
I like watching the frame by frame that people put up where they like show how he's leaned forward.
It's
They
just
show him
analyzing.
wincing before the hand hits him.
I would wince before, too, if
I was-
there
too.
for
No, it
it.
was definitely it was definitely a fucking Hollywood slap. It
Yeah.
wasn't a slap. It was.
This may be addressed in a future news nook. I don't know, but there's a lot of conspiracies out there.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know.
The only time will tell what happens. But yeah, it was just I was obsessed with it. I was just like the rest of America. It's like I need more. I don't know what's going on.
Well, if you want a legal analysis, check out the Beyond a Reasonable Doubt available now.
Ooh,
That.
you gonna plug in early? What the hell? Oh,
Wedge
it's
'em in
not
where
that
you get
early.
'em,
We're
baby.
about the hour mark anyway. All right, let's do one more. Let's keep it to one more food. Once we're not doing a shade today, we'll do.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Just making sure. No,
We've
let's
been
do
here
a
an
shade.
hour.
We need a
Yeah.
quick shay.
We'll do a quick shay. I want to do a quick shay.
Quick shay?
Quick
Yeah.
shay. Come on.
I'll
Okay,
make it
let's-
short. I'll make it short.
Bachelor
Okay,
party. Time.
let's do it. Okay, well, last comment. Mike J. Nielsen just says, my wife thinks I'm a monster for
Who?
My wife thinks I'm a monster for pouring Hershey's chocolate syrup all over my rainbow sherbet.
Yeah, you're a monster.
What do you guys think?
You're totally mixing the flavor. That's so wrong, dude.
I mean, you're a child. I don't know.
So
if you're a
wrong.
monster.
Yeah, because you don't mix the
Yeah,
fruity
no,
with.
yeah,
Dude, I do
yeah.
that all the time. Like Jen makes fun of me because for my yogurt lane creations, because I'll just get like straight up coffee ice cream and just throw some gummy bears in there. I don't.
You're
I
a
don't really
monster
care.
too. You're a monster as well.
We like chocolate covered strawberries, do we not?
I love myself.
People like
a
putting orange in
covered
chocolate,
sherbet.
chocolate and orange.
I don't like
pretty-
chocolate and orange.
But we can all
But it
agree
is
it's
a
I
very
put Skittles
common.
in my Cocoa Puffs. That's essentially what you guys are saying.
Dawson,
Dawson.
don't be unreasonable.
You have to sort through the Skittles.
Yeah, I need to make sure you get all your
Make
flavors.
sure you hit the bright.
Yeah.
I'm not totally against this. I say don't knock it till you try it.
Same.
Monster.
Oh, Dawson. All right, so
Well, we've already established I'm a monster.
we're divided here.
All right,
but
quick
let's get some real food knowledge. Drop.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on that Las Vegas menu?
Well, Gary, you mispronounced it. It's Las Vegas.
Okay. So that's what we wedged in.
We're gonna
I'm
go.
regretting
We're gonna make
advocating
this
for a
one
quick
real
shay.
quick. It's gonna be a two-parter, so you have to listen to Patreon if you want to hear part 2. But there is one thing that I feel the general public should know, which is that my single goal on this bachelor party was to get Chris and Gary to enjoy a fancy cocktail with me at a fancy cocktail bar in Las Vegas. None of this C-. There's plenty of time for that, but we're in fucking
well
Vegas. We
drinks.
got to go find a dope speakeasy or something to get into.
Matt needs a minimum 6 touches from the bartender of whatever he's making.
And what did we find? A storage container.
Well, hold on. I'm looking for a really nice place. I see there's a place called the Laundry Room, and it's like got a false wall. But here's the thing. There's like a wait list and reservations, and there's no way that we're going to get into there. So the previously mentioned Vincent, the guy who has the penthouse in Las Vegas, says, hey, there's a great cocktail bar not too far from here. It's called Oak and Ivy. It's in this place called Container Park. Now, I did not know at the time.
Now, that didn't Container Park. Container Park sounds probably like exactly what it is.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a
like the
park.
Container Store.
is.
Containers.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Well, let
the
me tell
San Pedro Port
That's correct.
all on one level.
That's correct.
Okay.
But each one is
multiple
hollowed
levels.
Few
out.
levels.
2 levels
Okay. Oh,
stacked on
okay.
top of
Few
each
levels.
other.
Okay,
yeah.
so they okay.
And one of these places.
So it's the Port of San Pedro.
It's designed with like a park in the middle. This place was like put up by the founder of Zappos, who's like one of the big businesses in Vegas. So it's like there's all these different businesses that are in these shipping containers. It's kind of cool. It's just all outside and it was 400 degrees.
And it was very hot, but it was a quick and easy walk. Now, this is a place that has probably 6 bar stools total, and each cocktail, because it's a fancy cocktail place, it's going to take the bartender like several minutes to make the cocktail. I told Gary, but there was someone else standing next to us who's like, I want to join. And then I told Chris, who also had someone next to him who said, oh, I want to join. Next thing I know, the group text to 19 people is fancy cocktails in 20 minutes, and 15 people roll up to this cocktail bar, and I can see the bartender sweating.
Yeah, he was
Like,
not
what
feeling
the
it.
Hell?
Now, the father of the bride, the most generous guy besides Chris this weekend, offered to buy all of our cocktails,
Nicest
which was
thing in the world.
fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Now, we all placed our various orders, which I'll get into mine briefly, but he got about 2 drinks into this, and this large Southern woman comes in wanting a Crown and Coke and a Coors Light. And the bartender is looking at her saying, ma'am, I will be right with you, but I have to make 12 cocktails. And she's like, okay. 3 minutes later, now I'm starting to get pissed off. Where's my drink? And then all of us were like, just serve her. Just please serve her her drink.
Get her away from
Get her
us.
the fuck out of here. She's killing the vibe.
Yeah.
Dawson, you would have lost it on this woman. She was being so rude and so gross. She was, ugh.
So I told whoever was within earshot, you better order a fancy cocktail. I don't want you just ordering a fucking Jameson on the rocks. Get something on this menu. Gary, very proud to say you did order something. I don't remember what it was, but it looked like a fancy fucking cocktail.
It was a fancy cocktail. It wasn't the fanciest of cocktails. To be honest with you, I was one of the last people to go. And the 3 other guys who were before me, like the 4 of us were the last, those 3 guys all wanted old fashions. And I was looking at a different whiskey drink on the menu, but the bartender was so overwhelmed by then that I was just like, 4 old fashions. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
Chris, what'd you get?
I got something called a whiskey smash.
That's what I wanted.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Now, I saw egg whites on the menu, and I said, I'm getting that.
Did you get a gin fizz?
I did.
A
essentially.
Ramos gin
I
fizz?
basically did. I got something that's called the Sasha Fierce, named after my musical idol.
Yeah.
And it was gin, green chartreuse, ginger, lemon, rosemary, and egg whites. Shake it all up, served up straight. A little bit of
Very good.
rosemary on top. It was
Yeah.
fucking incredible. Smooth, flavorful.
I like
herbal.
the rosemary in the drinks, and then they like torch it too to get it even more
Oh, yeah.
aromatic.
The whole torching.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. And again, thank you to Jenny's dad who paid for everything. 'Cause
Yes.
that made it
Shout
all the
out.
sweeter.
That was awesome.
Plenty of food to talk about, but we'll talk about it in Las Vegas Part 2. Until then, that's what's on the menu.
Yeah, Oak and Ivy.
Nice
Woo,
work.
woo, woo. Cocktail bar. All right. Well, those
Las Vegas.
guys.
I
are
feel
Point in the
that
weekend did you come up with that gem?
yeah,
I
a
love
place called Container Park. you should be drinking Miller High Life.
This was a place called Oak and Ivy within Container Park.
Yeah. I loved
There
it.
you go.
Las Vegas in Las Vegas. All right. You like that?
That's pretty good. I like that.
It's not
I like
bad.
that. .org that.
I might. All right. Well, it's let's see. I have a meeting with my officiant in a little bit, so I gotta split. So why don't we go around and get our plugs in, and we'll GTFO. I'll kick it off with Gary. What do you suggest everybody check out?
Check out Reasonable Doubt and Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, and check out the Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. I think there is going to be a compelling reason to listen to this one that comes up next, and we have a movie night tomorrow night, and we have a meetup on Thursday. So look forward to all of that. We have a lot of Watercooler this week.
Yes. As for me, I'm playing a show at Tantalum April 23rd. I believe it's a Friday in Long Beach. So come out to that. Also, I'm playing at Sea Legs, opening for a comedy show called The Axis of Evil. It's with Ahmed and Maj Jabrani.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, so I'm playing that show as well. So tickets are available. Just go to Sea Legs website, Sea Legs in Huntington Beach, and I'll be playing that too. What's up with you?
Shit, dude. There's 8 million things that are in the works right now. Nothing to specifically promote. So check out Ray Donovan. It's a pretty fucking good show.
Definitely needs a plug.
Digging into season 3 now, and digging it. And call your mom; she misses you.
Agreed on that one. I haven't seen Ray Donovan, but I trust your taste. And lastly, Matt, what do you got?
You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondelier. And I'm just going to second what Gary said. You should check out our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler, because earlier this week I quit my job at Corolla Digital, and I am moving out of state.